Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be doing this right now. Infinity War is out. I've seen it twice and I can't believe that build-up is over. Like it's gone. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, we will be talking about Infinity War and be doing a no spoiler review. So no spoilers at all. I'm probably going to be very vague, very like, it's good type environment rather than going into details, obviously, because I don't want to spoil it for everyone. And then in a few days from now, I will be uploading a spoiler review. So the Avengers Infinity War is directed by the Russo brothers, and if you recognize their name and you are unaware, they actually directed Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War, and in my opinion, two of the best movies in the MCU. And it literally stars everyone that you can imagine, from Iron Man to Black Panther, so pretty much all the main cast and some of their sideline characters are in this movie. By the way, I quickly just want to add in, before I get started with the review properly, there is no real like character development in this movie. So if you don't know the characters properly, it's gonna be hard for you to be like, have a real connection with the character. You need to know everything about it. So obviously there's 18 previous movies that help you develop that character and get emotions for them. But if you haven't seen a lot of the movies, I advise you to do so. The only person that you get character development for is Thanos, because this is his movie. It's not the Guardians, it's not Iron Man, it's not Captain America's, it's mostly his movie. So with all the superheroes per se, it is best to have watched a lot of the movies. That way you know a lot about them and you have a connection to them. That way when it comes to watching this movie, you can just jump straight into it. You're not like, oh, who's that and who's this and why is that happening? You know, that way it hits you more at home as well. I just want to start off by saying that I ended up really loving this movie. I actually ended up watching it twice on the day that it came out. And after the first time, I think I was very excited and it was like, whoa, and I couldn't take things in properly. So I didn't actually figure out if I liked it or not. Like I couldn't actually figure it out. But then when I watched it the second time, I was like, yeah, love it, love it, love it. Like I always believe, especially when it comes to movies like this, you need to watch them twice or more to really figure out what's going on. Especially this one, because there's so many people, so much going on, that it was just like, you need to watch it because every time you watch it, you'll pick up something else. But there were some things that kind of got to me about the movie. Some things grinded my gears. Like it wasn't a perfect movie. No, it wasn't. One thing that I noticed more in the first time I watched it rather than the second time was that it was quite jumpy from scene to scene, because they kind of split the characters into their own little arcs. So there'd be a group here, group here, group here. And then when they went from scene to scene, it occasionally felt a bit jumpy, a bit messy, because it's a bit full on. The thing is, when I watched it the second time, I felt like it flowed a lot better. I think it's because the first time I watched it, I was like, I was just so excited that nothing was like settling in my brain properly. So when I watched it the second time, I was a bit calmer and I let things settle in. It flowed a lot nicer and it just worked a lot better. A lot better. Another thing is that the CGI sometimes were a bit, you know, so certain close-ups of people's faces, it was a bit like, whoa, like, you know, CGI. Like it was more noticeable in those moments than other moments. And the one thing that kind of bothered me the most was that there are certain characters who didn't live up to their usual standards, which was really disappointing, especially when they're like one of your favorites and you're like, ah, and then they're not doing like what they usually do. Like I just felt like they just had no screen time, which I understand because there was a lot of people in this film. Like I felt like there was this one particular group in the movie that just didn't stand out to me like how the other ones did. And obviously I'm gonna explain that more in my spoiler review. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I was just disappointed with certain characters and how much they actually contributed to this film. Now let's move on from the things that I didn't like and let's talk about Thanos. And oh my gosh, he was amazing. I've never enjoyed a villain this much ever. Like I thought I liked Loki and I thought that I liked Killmonger from Black Panther, but this guy, oh my god, he is the cherry on top of the sundae. He was terrifying and his presence was known. Every time he walked into a scene or whatever, he had this very terrifying presence. And Josh Brolin, his voice is terrifying alone. Like he was just amazing. My favorite thing about him is that they gave him such a human side, and you related to him and you understood why he was doing everything. Even though the way he was doing everything was very psychotic, you understood him and you at parts felt sorry for him. It was just amazing that he was just this big, terrifying guy that wanted to destroy half the universe, and you're sitting there being like, you know, like, it's just, oh my God. And he was psychotic and he was terrifying, and he really didn't feel sorry for anyone. He's better than any villain that I've ever seen, honestly. Josh Brolin did such an amazing job, and his face looked amazing all the time. His body was terrifying. He was massive, and he could tell that he could just kick everyone's ass, and he was just amazing. With the rest of the film, the stuff that I want to point out that I really loved is firstly the humor. Such a perfect combination of humor, drama, action. Like, the humor was on point. Like in the trailers, it came off to be as like an extremely serious movie, and for a second there I thought there wasn't going to be much humor at all, but it's very funny. It is very funny, and the good thing is it's not over funny. Like, there were previous movies where I was like, you know, too much humor going on for me personally. Like Thor Ragnarok, I loved it, but I did feel like it was too much humor and not enough drama, and such terrible things happened in that movie, and no one was sad about it. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Infinity War. Yeah, the humor was perfect. The action was, ooh, like, it was so good to watch. It was very pleasing to the eye, and the drama hit me in the heart. It hit me in the heart hardcore. Hardcore! Just saying. And when it came to all the characters, I just felt like they mixed really well. There were certain characters that stood out really, like, amazing. Like, the best performance of that character I've seen overall in the MCU. And what was even better is that when there were certain characters on screen, it did feel like you're watching their movie for a little bit. Like, for example, Guardians has a very different tone, and when it showed them, it was like, oh my God, we're watching Guardians, like, you can tell. So I'm really happy that they had their own feel to it, their tones, instead of being like all mashed up together and it's all like, you know, it actually felt like their characters, which was really good. Can we talk about that bloody post-credit scene? Oh, mama. That's all I'm saying. It was a really good post-credit scene. Probably the best one that I've seen. It was very like, ooh, like, it was just crazy. Just crazy. So, oh, I can't wait to talk about my spoiler review. But anyway. Honestly, just to summarize this, the Russo brothers did such an amazing job. This would have been the hardest movie to do. Honestly, like, I actually can't think of a harder movie, because franchise movies in particular, they get so much crap from people. When a movie like this has got so much hype, people just hate on it. They just hate on it. Like, look what happened to The Last Jedi. You know, everyone just, like, I thought it was a good movie. Like, I didn't hate it. You know, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But it got so much crap because it's Star Wars. You know, and now because it's the MCU, it's a very similar situation. It was such a hyped movie, and it's gonna catch a lot of hate and stuff. But to be honest, there were so many characters, so it would have been so hard to actually pull it off to something that people would love. And I think that the Russo brothers did an amazing job. I don't know if anyone else would have actually done a better job. Yeah, I'm really happy with the product that they came out with, and God, am I excited for Avengers 4, like, far out. Like, I've never left the cinema being so much more like, oh my God, I need to watch the next movie right now. And we still have a year till it comes out now. So, woo, like, it was just, the ending's insane. That's all I'm saying. It's insane. So that's pretty much my review. It was very vague and basic, I know. We'll leave that to the more spoiler review. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope my review was okay. I'm still pretty new to this, so thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to see my spoiler review for this movie as well, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.